talking about, man, and unfortunately we can't ignore it. Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith on live television for the world to see.
Man, what did you think about that when you initially seen it?
Well, I saw it and immediately I thought it was real. So I had called somebody up and said, "Hey, you saw that?" And they were like, "Oh no, that was fake."
Yeah.
I was like, "That was fake? Nah, that couldn't have been fake. Nah, it was fake." So that was the first thing, was like figuring out, was this real or was it staged? Was it acting?
Right.
But then I watched it again, and what made me realize it was real, I'm looking at Jada Pinkett's face. And her face was a face of disgust. She was disappointed. She didn't like the joke. She just had this look. Her body language was like a look of she hated Chris Rock or something. But what's crazy, Will Smith was laughing at that joke.
No doubt. He damn sure was.
He was laughing.
Yeah.
And I think he looked at his wife while he was laughing, and he had to change the game.
But that's the part I didn't like. You know what I mean? Not that he changed his game or his face, but you went and did the extras after you laughed. Now, say if the joke was said and he immediately got up and went up there and did that, I could have respected it more, Alex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not that I'm condoning it. I'm just saying I know how emotions are. You know what I mean? I know it's a lot of people out here that work with emotions. So as soon as he said that joke, if his emotions was triggered, you know what I mean? See, he couldn't even get no justifiable nothing that I was in a moment of rage or I was in. No, you laughed first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gonna get no sympathy, you know. And so from that perspective, because like I said, when I first saw it, I thought it was staged and faked, you know.
Oh, you thought it was fake?
Yeah, because I was at work and I somebody sent it to me and I looked at it and I thought it was some fake shit, you know what I mean? And then when he started saying, "Keep my fucking wife's," when he did, in the way he said, I said, "Oh no, that shit real," you know what I mean? So, I mean, overall though, your opinion on Chris Rock's perspective? Do you think he took the right approach, or being that they were at the Academy Awards, being that them white folks run that academy, man, and you may never get a job again. You know, you do the wrong shit per se. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But do you think Chris Rock took all that in consideration, or did he just say, you know what, I did say something about the dude wife, I'ma take that?
Hey, I felt it was a legitimate joke. I didn't think it was over the top. I didn't think it was highly offensive. And I do think that Chris Rock, being from Brooklyn, lost some points. He had every right to defend himself.
Right.
He had every right to defend himself.
Now, also they saying that she suffered from something called alopecia, which I had never heard of up until now. I do know she used to shave her head off doing other shit when, before this was a diagnosed situation for her. I do know Chris Rock has in the past, I think it was 2016, he was on a helmet with some hell of a jokes back then, but I also know they were friends, So, the part you saying that it was a legitimate joke, I mean, it was if he didn't know that she kind of suffered from some kind of, symptoms of hair loss.
Well, let's be real about what alopecia is. Alopecia is just your hair falls out. You're suffering only psychologically.
Okay.
You're not suffering medically.
Right.
You're not in any danger of dying.
Like I said, I never heard of it till now.
Yeah, I actually had alopecia in 90, what year was that? July of 97. I'm looking in the mirror one day, and like a big 1-inch square patch of hair just fell out. And then I realized I was losing my eyebrows.
Damn.
So for about 2 years, my hair was just falling out in just random places.
Yeah.
So I went to the doctor and they said, "Oh yeah, you have alopecia." And for a minute, you're like, "Man, I don't like this." Basically, your immune system is attacking your hair follicles, and it thinks the hair follicle is an enemy.
Oh, okay.
So I understand what alopecia is. Yeah, and I guess it impacts women more so. I mean, I wasn't tripping. I'm like, okay, my hair falling out.
So it didn't impact you physically or nothing like that?
Not at all.
You didn't have weakness? Or
No. There's 3 levels of alopecia, minor, medium, and major. So that's all it is. It's and the reason why we don't know why it happens, there's no cure, no one wants to stop it, is because it's not a fatal disease.
Right.
So you're not going to get millions and millions of dollars of research in trying to cure alopecia, because nobody gives a fuck about alopecia.
Right.
So I understand that women probably suffer more psychologically at losing their hair than us men do. I see you rock the bald head, so it ain't no big deal thing to you.
Right.
Also, although when we're young, I remember when my hair started to thin out, I was like, oh, okay, my hair's thinning out. Or when I first started getting gray, oh, okay, this is. But at some point for me, I accept what it is.
Right,
you know?
right, no doubt.
There's so many bigger medical problems in the world to deal with than to be tripping on alopecia. So she doesn't get any sympathy points from me from having alopecia.
But you say Chris Rock lost points with you.
Hey, man, he's Brooklyn born and bred.
Yeah.
A motherfucker come up to you and smack you, at least smack back.
Yeah.
Or at least
try.
swing.
Yeah,
Do
do
something.
something. Yeah.
Tackle the dude.
Tackle
He turned around and walked off like
Right.
he owned the place.
Or jump on his back or something around this motherfucker. Yeah.
But he took the high road. And I think for a minute, he was a little unsure of what to do.
Right.
So I'm thinking, wait, how much Brooklyn are you, Chris Rock?
Well, he Brooklyn, but at the same time, he Hollywood. As far as,
There you go.
getting that money.
Yeah.
So that money and losing it or not having the opportunity to continue making it can make somebody, think different.
But he had every right, though.
No doubt. But, I mean, can you really imagine, though, had he ran and jumped on Will's back and they got the tussling on stage?
It would look bad, right?
It'll look bad for us as a whole, just to be honest with you. You know what I mean?
That's true. I mean, it would. Well, let me ask you, because you seem to be a man of much high moral character when it comes to another man in your face and addressing you. I mean, if a man is smacking you and you're on a stage, I'm sure you're going to do something.
Well, this is the thing about it. Soon as he stood up to get up from his chair, I'd have been ready. I wouldn't have had my hands behind my back. I'm right-handed, but I can't hit with the left, so I would have already decided which hand I'm finna hold the mic with one hand and crack him with the other one if it comes to that. So he just clearly, I believe, didn't think he would do that. So I get a lot of people saying, man, he just had his hands behind his back like it was staged or something. No, he had his hands behind his back because he didn't think that was going to happen. I do get that part. You know what I mean? And after it happened, they like, well, he didn't fall or he didn't this and that. I said, listen, man, you didn't have Mike Tyson slapping you. You had, Will Smith slap. So he wasn't going to fall all on the ground and flop all on the ground, But Chris Rock posed a guy down where he got mad at, man. And I don't think nobody would have got mad at him. I
mean, he could have even said something like, "You's a bitch for that, Will."
Yeah.
Or he didn't even say nothing. He was like, "This is the craziest night on television history."
I mean, but when you dancing, for the Academy, which some of them dudes, they know who to. Let me just don't bullshit. They know who to hire the big hand in that situation is. They know where their career at is where it is. Just like Samuel L. Jackson won his first Oscar, his first Academy Award. You didn't hear about it because of the slap, but they also didn't even show it. They did it on a commercial and didn't even show it on TV. You know what I mean? So when it comes to the Academy Awards, you already know blacks has been lagging in that category for years. You know what I mean? So Chris Rock knows this. He wanted to be host so bad he was willing to take a slap, take the higher road in order to stay in the position that he in. That's just my take on it. You know what I mean? So, but I'm sure you've seen the memes that said, here's a list of comedians I bet he wouldn't have slapped. You know what I mean? So Will Smith also took it upon himself to know who he was dealing with and what he was dealing with. Because he wouldn't have slapped Dave Chappelle. He wouldn't have slapped a whole lot of other ones. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. I was a little surprised that the whole audience, after Will Smith did win the Oscar for playing King Richard, Serena and Venus's father, he won the Oscar for that movie for Best Actor. He got a applause. He got an ovation when he went to the stage after he gave his very emotional, his emotional
bullshit speech.
Yeah. and I was going to say, I don't believe anything in that speech.
Right.
That was just his way of trying to cover him hitting Chris Rock on live television. But I was just surprised of how much support that he was receiving when really we should be going in on you. Like, why you lost it? You are that so emotionally unhinged.
Right.
That you smacked the dude on live television. Thanks for watching this video clip of Streets and Scholars podcast with Alex Alonso and FG. If you want to listen to the entire episode, go to your favorite podcast platform and type in Streets and Scholars. But we're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify. And thanks for listening to another episode of Streets and Scholars.